Our top story. Go to any shop, small or big, chances are you will find a QR code there. Just scan it and you can pay your bills. But in Karnataka's Kalaburgi, you will find a different kind of QR code. It's not PayTM, it's called PayCM. If you're confused, just take a look at the pictures on your screens. You'll understand what I'm trying to say. This QR code is accompanied by a picture of Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai. He was in Kalaburgi today, and well, he was welcomed by these very posters you're seeing on your screens. If you scan them, it takes you to a website that is managed by the Congress party, which details the government's alleged scams. These posters were first put up in September this year, and back then, the Karnataka police had filed an FIR against Congress leaders. But the Karnataka High Court went on to quash them. This time too, the police have filed a case, but chances are the courts will not entertain it. The PayCM QR code actually takes you to a website called 40% accepted here, quote unquote. It's a reference to the bribe that is allegedly taken by public works officials of the BJP government. Now, last month, the BJP had actually launched a counter campaign against PayCM. It was called Scam Ramaya, focused on alleged corruptions under the former Congress government. The fact is, neither party can really take a moral high ground here on corruption. Take Congress leader D.K. Shivakumar, for example. He has been summoned 5 times by different investigating agencies in the next 10 days, by the ED, the Income Tax Department, and the CBI. Now, coming back to the incident in Kalaburgi, the BJP is blaming sitting Congress MLA Priyank Kharge for PayCM posters. But Kharge says he has absolutely no idea who put up those posters there.
We have no idea who had put this up. Maybe it could have been one of our workers who might have gone a little overboard. Honestly speaking, we had bigger issues to deal with in Kalaburgi, and we have ensured that the CM's visit has gone past hassle-free.
कलबुर्गी में बहुत साल राज्यभार किए, बड़ा कर गए और छोटा कर गए. किसको पैसा दे रहा है सभी जानता है. वो लोग, उनका साम्राज्य कितना था, अभी कितना है, वो भी कलबुर्गी का जनता जानता है. वो लोग इसके वजह से 2019 पार्लियामेंट चुनाव में उत्तर दिए. आने वाले चुनाव में भी जनता उत्तर देंगे.
Both parties upping the ante ahead of a very crucial election in Karnataka. My guest this evening, T. Sankirtha, is a BJP Karnataka spokesperson making a debut here on Mirror Now. Sankirtha, thank you very much for joining us. Anurag Naidu is an author. Lavanya Balal is a Congress spokesperson. And Madhavan Narayan is a senior journalist. Lavanya Balal, let me come to you first. Fact is that the Chief Minister of Karnataka had gone to Kalaburgi for an official function for the launch of the Viveka scheme, which essentially means that there are going to be 7,000 new classrooms in Kalaburgi, in the state of Karnataka. Why this unpleasantness? Why these PayCM posters?
You have to ask the public of Karnataka why they have posted the PayCM posters. Clearly, Mr. Priyank Kharge has made it very clear that he's not aware that who has posted these posters. If you look at it, Shreya, a few days back, Karnataka government had demanded 100 rupees from the students of government schools towards their education, because they said we are not able to give the infrastructure and everything necessary for the students, which is supposed to be free education. But now overnight, they have gone ahead and they're sanctioning 992 crores for the Viveka classrooms when we are challenged with a lack of enough teachers in the classrooms, crumbling infrastructure in the Karnataka government schools. So every now and then, the Karnataka government makes some decisions and then goes back on the decisions. And BC Nagesh, the education minister, is known for the kind of decisions he makes, which is not very good for the students. Look at the textbook revision decision that he took, and then he had to recall the entire process. So we are not aware of who has created this PayCM posters as of now at Kalaburgi. It clearly indicates the trust deficit that the state has with the BJP government.
But whose idea was this PayCM? It is of course not new, but it was the Congress party's idea. It was an entire campaign by the Congress party. So now for the Congress party to say we don't know who put it is a bit rich, isn't it, Lavanya?
No, as of now, this current day poster, who is posted, we are not aware of that. It was a campaign quite in September by the Congress government to throw light onto the scams that is happening every day in Karnataka, especially the 40% scam that everybody is talking about. Just a couple of days ago, there was a couple in Karnataka who have written to the Rashtrapati, the Bhavan, to the President of India, seeking mercy killing because they are not able to live in Karnataka by paying the 40% commission. So the situation in Karnataka is quite grim right now.
You're saying the situation in Karnataka is quite grim right now. I'm just going to come to the BJP spokesperson here. Please help me understand, T. Sankirtha, why the BJP should have a problem with these posters. This is politics after all, and any political party has to put out their message. And this is the Congress may be saying right now, we don't have any idea who put out those posters, but we know whose idea and whose campaign the PayCM, the whole PayCM poster was. So we know it's the Congress's idea, but what's the problem? This is the job of an opposition party, isn't it? If there is a problem with the ruling dispensation, they will point it out. Why take offense to it? I say why take offense to it because not just has an FIR been lodged, last time the matter had reached court as well. And of course, the court threw out the matter, that's a different issue. But why take offense?
If Congress, being a national party having such a lineage, if it is a responsible opposition party, we would have definitely not got into all those pat and all. See, if you see the Congress history as of now, after losing relevancy in national politics, their only laboratory to test things is in Karnataka as of now. They are having some bit of a loose hold in Karnataka, so they are trying to come up with all these baseless allegation, baseless ideas, whatever you call. The Congress party in Karnataka as an opposition, whatever allegations, whatever remarks they make, all of them are baseless. They don't have any proof, and they talk about lecturing and about corruption. See, it's a party who were thrown out of government due to corruption charges in the 2014, as well as in the 2018, they did not get majority. They are teaching us about teaching us about corruption charges. See, I wanted to tell you two things. Let me make two quick points regarding this. First, the ACB, which was brought down by the Siddaramaiah government, which was brought down just in case to save their own ministers. 21 of them had facing severe charges regarding the same. So, to safeguard their ministers, Siddaramaiah government brought down ACB and loosened the heads of the Lokayukta. So now we have given power to Lokayukta. Why don't they go and file a complaint? Why don't they go petition? Why don't they go and file a PIL against the government? If they're having so much of evidence and all those things, why don't they go and file a case? So they're free. So what they're trying to do, they're trying to create chaos. They're trying to create confusion regarding the public. So this is not new to the Congress government. From the last 7 decades, they're doing the same.
But Mr. Sankirtha,
they don't have any options because we are doing a lot of development.
But Mr. Sankirtha, here's the point. Here's the point. There is a contractor in the state of Karnataka who committed suicide, naming Mr. Iswarappa, one of your ministers, who had to ultimately be sacked. The chief minister first protected him, then ultimately he had to be sacked because there was no other way, right? That is something that has happened. The Contractors Association, again in the state of Karnataka, have spoken about the fact that they can't get anything done unless they pay a bribe of 40%. That there is a 40% that
regarding that. Okay, let me answer you regarding that. Regarding Mr. You raised a question regarding case Ishwarappa's allegation. 30th May, the ACMM court directed him to file a criminal petition regarding his baseless allegations. So now he's no more. Let us not talk about that because he's no more. The person himself is no more. So I don't want to make a point on that. Secondly, you are talking about the second allegation.
No, God save us. He's.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
He's certainly not no more. He's still. No, I'm saying he's alive and well. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, Mr. Santosh is.
You may have sacked him, but he's alive and well. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, Mr. Santosh, the contractor.
Yeah. I just thought I'd just clarify that. Go ahead.
Secondly, the Contractor Association, they had written a letter to the PMO. PMO gave them a reply. Mr. Kempaya, he himself came to the media and told that I got a reply from the PMO. He has directed the Chief Secretary of Karnataka to look into that. Okay, after that, looking into the matter, what was his reply? He said we wanted to renovate our building. So he changed his verses. So whatever it is a Congress-driven propaganda. It's a Congress-driven false allegations. Congress, I am repeatedly telling you, when they're
Lavanya,
losing relevancy
all
all
you're
over
doing.
India, they're trying to distract the people and then try to confuse the people of Karnataka.
Lavanya, this is nothing but propaganda. There is an election coming. Politics, more often than not, is about perception. So the BJP says what the Congress is doing, its entire effort is to build a perception that the Karnataka government and this entire 40% business is what it is, and therefore they should not be elected to power. This is actually just your style of campaigning.
Well, Shreya, I would like to remind the BJP spokesperson, in August, the High Court of Karnataka said no file moves without a bribe. Karnataka High Court slammed the corruption in government offices of Karnataka. Now, you can't say the judiciary of Karnataka is compromised, right? If that is the case, then BJP should come clean and say the judiciary of Karnataka also is controlled by Congress, and it is a Congress toolkit like they always claim. It is not just us. Every other day, we have people dying on the roads of Karnataka because of potholes. Why aren't the roads being repaired? You talk about corruption, sir. It was BSY, Yediyurappa, who went to jail on corruption charges while accepting bribe on check. It was your minister, Ishwarappa, who resigned because a contractor, your own party worker, who committed suicide, blaming Yediyurappa ji. There are multiple people coming forward every day charging the government about corruption. Our question is, why isn't Lokayukta, that you trust so much, taking up sumoto cases? Why does it go to the chief secretary, sir? Why does it go there? Why doesn't it go to the Lokayukta court? What is the hesitation there to send the
Anurag
cases?
Naidu, before I bring you in, look at, I just have a list. I just have a list of cases, where there has been corruption that has been alleged against the Karnataka government. I'll make it quick so that you can respond to what I'm saying. First, you have the city's municipality contractor. This is Bangalore's, Municipality Contractors Association's president saying that 40% of the project cost has to be paid as a bribe. Manjunath is the vice president of Karnataka State Contractors Association saying, quote unquote, the commission was only 5%, now it's 40%. Ministers, MLAs are all involved. Then you have the president of the Registered Unaided Private Schools Management Association alleging that private schools have been asked to pay large bribes for renewal of recognition and for reimbursement of fee under the Right to Education Act. Again, another representative of the Unaided Schools Association is claiming that he had to shell out 3 lakh rupees for a fire safety certificate. One of the 2 schools he runs, he said 20,000 rupees is the government fee and 2.8 lakhs went to a fire officer's pocket. And I can go on and on and on. So there clearly is a problem in the state of Karnataka when it comes to corruption. And it seems that the Congress is pitching it right. They are, as I said, after all, an opposition party. And if they get a handle to beat the BJP government with, that is exactly what they will do.
Yeah, can I come in? Yeah, Shreya, I think,
yes, Anurag,
I would not like to rubbish the list that you have just mentioned. And there might be very specific allegations from people who are involved in the system and who have got dealings to do with the government when it comes to the payments and so on and so forth. I think all these dealings, you cannot generalize. The problem here is because it is an election season, people are trying to, even political parties or like the Congress is trying to generalize this thing. And there is a personal attack that is ongoing on the chief minister himself. And that something needs to be stopped, because if you want to pick up issues, now corruption, a 40% corruption can be an issue. So you should pick up in a more legitimate way. All these years, all the 4.5 years, you had no problems with Congress ex-ministers, almost a dozen of them joining this current cabinet that you are seeing today in Karnataka. They're all ex-congressmen. So they were all nice as long as they were in Congress, and they all went corrupt when they joined BJP. And this narrative you're trying to peddle right before the election. So let's not generalize. There are really nice people who are working for the welfare of the state. And I think if you want to personally target the chief minister, going so low, I think that is not fair. If you have, you've mentioned about some of the cases which are very specific. Why don't Congress party pick these cases, put their muscle, put their time, put their resources, and fight it in the court of law, and ensure that they give support to these people who are claiming, they are being harassed because of the bribery, and then put out the real names who are behind this. Not necessarily everything that is happening in Karnataka is because of the chief minister.
If I may
Anurag,
respond,
Anurag,
Shreya.
I'll tell you this. He's the chief minister of the state. Ek minute. Just a minute, Lavanya. He's a leader, and that's what leaders are supposed to do. If you are ready to accept the bouquets, you need to take the brickbats as well, because that is what it will come with. He's the leader. If he's leading from the front, he has to take responsibility of what is happening under him. In fact, he's being personally accused of corruption as well. But yeah, go ahead, Lavanya.
On his cabinet.
You see, I take this feedback from Mr. Naidu, but Mr. Naidu, you also see the BJP is doing the same thing for Congress, right? Congress leaders. How long have you seen Congress leader, Mr. Siddaramaiah, being targeted by the BJP in the worst possible terms? He had sleep apnea, and people mocked his, sickness, called him Niddaramaiah. I never saw any of the senior journalists questioning that, sir. It's very sad that every time everybody expects Congress to uphold the political discourse, and the same rule does not apply for the BJP. When we are discussing anything, it is always about, why does the Congress need to talk like this? Why is it the policing of the tone comes only for the Congress and not for the BJP, sir? How many times have the BJP leaders been questioned, especially Mr. C.T. Ravi, whose vile and vicious attacks every day on on Congress leaders? No one questions him about it, sir. I think we should all focus on the corruption in Karnataka.
Mr. Narayan.
One law cannot be an answer to
Mr.
another
Madhavan Narayan,
law.
I find it interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, but Mr. Narayan, I find it interesting that the BJP spokesperson has not brought up the issue of Mr. D.K. Sivakumar, who has been summoned now 5 times for the next 10 days by the ED, CBI, etc. There are charges against Congress leaders as well.
I'll just make a quick point.
Yeah, but let me. May I come in? Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Narayan, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Shreya, let's take a deep breath, as I always do after all the spokespersons have ended up saying the usual stuff that their parties ask them to do, to give clarity to the viewers of Mirror Now on what's really going on under the scenes. See, Mr. Narendra Modi's charisma does not run in Karnataka. Hindutva ideology also has limited utility in Karnataka, where caste and corruption are major issues. This is something we need to understand ahead of the assembly elections. So in other states, Mr. Modi benefits the BJP locally. But in Karnataka, it's the other way around. If the BJP doesn't perform well, the Modi's national image gets a dent. So it's a reverse osmosis process going on in Karnataka. We need to get that in context. The second thing is, this joke about Karnataka always is that the real political parties in Karnataka are 2 caste communities, one called Lingayats and the other called Ukkaligas. And Karnataka BJP has already been rammed in the past when Mr. Yediyurappa faced serious corruption charges. And Mr. Bommai also belongs to the same community. And therefore, any allegation of corruption against the chief minister will create new disequilibriums in Karnataka politics based on caste, in which case others will be able to pin down Mr. Bommai and by extension his community. And therefore, this is becoming a case of a sensitive political balance being upset by the PayCM allegations. And the third factor is that, politicians are not scared of investigative reports that show data and corruption, but they are scared of imagery that is evocative. Now, using a PayTM logo for a PayCM campaign is more evocative among the voters, and that is what is scaring BJP, because they're not scared of you and me, Shreya. They're not scared of data. They're not scared of investing. They're scared of imagery. So imagery plays a major role in politics. And Karnataka Congress, although you're right, Mr. Shivakumar also faces allegations. There's nothing new in corruption allegations or even indecency in Indian politics. Both parties are equally guilty while blaming each other for being, not legitimate. But what amuses me is that when intellect becomes imagery, politicians get scared. And that's what is happening because PayCM is an evocative label. And let me also add that if Mr. Bommai is unable to prove that he's clean, because this involves contractors, 40%, it's quite investigatable anecdotally. If this happens and Mr. Bommai's hold on the chief minister's chair becomes shaky, and he becomes a liability for the BJP, because unlike in other states, where Mr. Modi can simply tower over others and say, look, you're voting for Modi, not even, he has this double engine campaign up north, but there is no double engine in the south. Mr. Modi cannot go and say, Bommai is my local engine. If he has to, then Mr. Bommai has to live up to that image. And right now that is being effectively, it's a googly that the Congress is bawling. It's completely immaterial whether it's a lone wolf doing it, whether it's an NGO doing it, whether it's a local worker doing it. An allegation of corruption with evocative imagery, whether it comes from the BJP towards Congress or Congress towards BJP, is a matter for us, you and me. We can only amuse ourselves because we are not being taken seriously, but posters will be taken seriously because posters that have imagery matter more in India's today's political discourse than data and argument. So you and I are going to enjoy this and see Congress has finally got something that looks like what the BJP had with the 2G scam. So in Karnataka, at least, maybe not in the north, where Mr. Modi and BJP have a Teflon coating.
Okay.
But in the south, this is an interesting, amusing
game. We may enjoy this. We may sit back. No, we may sit back and enjoy it, but the BJP is certainly not enjoying it. Is it because you are rattled, Mr. Sankirtha? Is this because the BJP is rattled?
No,
this is denting your chances in the elections that are to come.
Let me come in. Neither we are scared, neither we are terrified, neither we are rattled. So this is a baseless allegation. Let me put that thing again, put a word again. It's a baseless allegation. Congress is free. We are left with another 40 to 50 weeks to election, to the upcoming 23 elections. Siddaramaiah has at least 40 to 50 allegations against him, which are at least 13 have been filed against the Lokayukta. So I am asking, why Congress does not have the courage? Why Congress does not have the proof to go and register a simple complaint, at least a petition to the Lokayukta, or if they believe in judiciary, we abide by the law of the land. Why don't they go and give a private complaint? See, she was quoting about Yediyurappa. Yediyurappa is now been acquitted from all the cases. All the cases. The High Court has acquitted him from all the cases. Let me tell that again. So she should be aware of that also. I'll just make 2 quick points regarding that. Mr. Siddaramaiah, recently in an allegation, he has taken 1 crore 30 lakh rupees in the payment, in the check payment from Mr. L. Vivekananda to make him to the post of the steward of the Bengaluru Turf Club. So that allegation is there. Let us talk about that. And Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, let us keep all these ED and all those income tax CBI rates aside. His own constituency, Kanakpura, the NH209 highway, why is it pending from such a long time? So they talk about development and they come to teach us about development. So let us see what is in Congress plates. And
your corruption versus my corruption, as my former boss used to say in the hammam, everyone is naked. I don't want to say it in Hindi and repeat it, but I'll just end it there. And we know that this is a perception battle that is going on. Who wins it? We'll know once the Karnataka election results are out. We'll leave it there. Mr. Sankirtha, thank you very much. Sir, done. Time over. Sir, we'll see, sir, what the court and judiciary does. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much, Mr. Sankirtha, for joining us. Anurag Naidu, good to have you. Lavanya, good to have you on the show. And as always, Mr. Madhavan Narayan, thank you for making sense of what we were talking about and debating. Thanks very much. Good night to all of you, but not good night to our viewers. Do stay with us because our